for being a passionate advocate for women's empowerment. She is the founder and CEO of Vinuyon Ramos Coaching, where she works with individuals and groups to accelerate their ability to create their world and enjoy their desired change. Leveraging her extensive 18 years plus in change management to create their world, living the life of their dreams, free of limitations. She also coordinates a mentoring program for young adults. Wow. Please, if you are as excited as I am, listening to her profile, I want us to light up the comments box and welcome her as she takes the stage. Welcome, Coach Vinuyon Ramos. I'm excited to have you here and I'm eager. My ear is itching to hear what we have to learn to keep the eagle focus for the year 2025. You take the stage, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Blessing. Thank you so much, Ebon. Please confirm that you can hear me clear and loud. Am I audible and is it clear? Awesome. Thank you for that warm welcome. I truly am humbled. And, reading, when they read all these long, long things, I say, we just put all these texts together just to make people feel that we're bigger than anybody. We are all the same. It's called a family meeting. So let's pack all that you read. Let's just do it as family do stuff. So it's an honor and it's really a joy to be amidst all of you tonight. And I believe that the energy in the room is with expectation, and I don't come on a pedestal of knowledge. I come because I have a little bit of knowledge to add to what you already know, and adding what you know and what you've been hearing and what you will hear in other places, all will come together and help you achieve your desired outcome. So I'm here to add that little bit to whatever you know. So I'm honored to be in this space. So let's take it away. So it's about the eagle focus, and it's about being able to see your vision through to the end of the year. And Ebu, thank you. It's an honor because Ebu calls me her coach. It's actually, we were both accountability partners to each other on this journey she described. And ever since then, she's been faithfully part of my community. And I want to thank her for believing in me. She's my sister. I truly appreciate her. She's always encouraging, always celebrating everything I do, always pushing and giving me all the positive energy. So I don't take that for granted. People have to believe in you for you to be able to move on in life. And I really don't take that for granted. I'm bringing it to your platform, to your community. I don't take it for granted. So thank you again. I'm truly honored. So the eagle, why are we talking about the eagle? Why are we doing eagles? Now, I said that in my community, and I've shared it in a few places already. And what happened to me towards the end of last year was that a friend of mine was celebrating her birthday. And the way I do birthday celebrations, I send a message. I don't just send happy birthday. I try to tune in to find out what it is the person needs to hear. And I think I did this quite subconscious because I said to her, happy birthday. And I pray that this year you soar at heights that only eagles dare. And I sent and I left. That was about 3 weeks to the end of the year. And as I left the message, something clicked in my spirit that, this person I sent this thing to actually is currently in a wheelchair. She can't walk around. So how can I put a word like that she would soar at height that only eagles there? And physically, she might be incapacitated. But again, it meant to me that not only, I didn't want to just explain it to me and say, oh, yeah, spiritually, she would get there, she would achieve height, it was like, no. There's something about what I just said to this girl. She's going to come out of that wheelchair and she would do what she was not able to do up until that point in time. So I called and I said, we're going to go on a journey. This year, you're going to do what you were not able to do, that this body will not contain you and hold you back from achieving your desired result. And it then didn't stop there. I then remembered that a friend of mine, who a few of people in my community had done a series on eagles about 3-4 years ago, 2020, 4 years ago. And she had been asking me to please do the series. I should share the series again. And I couldn't find the series. I don't know where I saved them. So I thought I'll do it all over again. And in my doing it again, I thought this is the right time because with what I heard and God saying to me that this year is going to be, we're going to soar at heights that only eagles dare. I then had to go back and study the eagle and do the series all over again. So I'm not going to do the series this evening. It's not about the series. The key attributes of the eagle that we're focusing on is the eagle's laser focus, because that laser focus is very key for us achieving the outcome we want at the end of this year. There's always a lot of hype at the beginning of the year. Everybody is excited. I don't know why we think 1st of January and 28th of October are two different milestones in the year. See, that day something happens, heaven moves, the universe moves, something just changes, and then yes, we have a different. It's not true. You are the same person, 20th of October. and 1st of January. The only thing that changes is how you see life. If you don't change the way you're doing things, you're going to be the same person in the next few weeks and at the end of the year. So I have a saying, I'm called the change catalyst, and I have a strong belief. And it's Albert Einstein that said it, that it's insanity to keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So the question then is, what does it mean to have eagle focus, laser focus? What needs to change? Because we've all set goals like we do year in, year out. And like Dr. Ebon has said, the only times you see yourself making remarkable progress or achieving remarkable outcomes at the end of a year is because you've done something different than previous years. What are you going to do different this year to get a different result? Even if you achieved 80% last year, 90%, what are you going to do to achieve the same 100% or higher this year? It is a lot of change that has to happen to us. And to start off from where Dr. Ebo also alluded to earlier on, I have a strong belief in that. And I started my journey because and for those who are not Christians, just permit me, but it is my foundation and it's my go-to, it's my core, it's my essence. So I cannot but refer to my Christianity. So just pardon me if you're not a Christian. So for 40 years, I'd been a Christian, and I have had, I gave my life at the age of 10 at this point, and I had very high expectations. So let's call them goals and outcomes that I desired, that as a child of God, I would achieve this by this age. I had milestones. By the age of 30, I should be retiring. By the age of this, I should have done this. And then I was now getting closer to the age that I'm thinking, hello, this is quite a long time on this journey, and nothing seems to be happening. So I had to ask myself that I do believe, because I know that these things are possible, they're attainable, they're achievable. So and I knew at that point that it wasn't any supreme being that would make things happen for me, because everything he could do for me, he had done. He had given me enough prophetic words. So I knew that his part was done. End of the deal was sealed. So the only part of the equation that had to determine the outcome wasn't the devil. I knew at that point it was me. I was responsible for the outcome. So what do I do? Then I realized this thing that Dr. Ebun just shared. And I realized, I said, gosh, so that means that so if you see my banner says, create your world, I understand how we create the world we are in, because the what you experience, your reality, you created it by how you do things. You are the author of your life as it stands. So how do you then create the outcome that you so desire for 2025 if you've created up until now? So my question then is, and I said to people like that, if you don't like your reality, what you're experiencing, something has to change. How responsible are you? Do you know that you are responsible for the outcome of your life? If you know you are, tell me in the chat box, do you understand that you are responsible, that there's no God anywhere that is going to make a change? Please tell me yes, yes. I want to understand that so I can start on this level. Do we know that you are responsible for the outcome of 2025? I'm not saying you don't pray. I'm not saying you don't fast, but you know, it ultimately rests with you. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. I'm waiting for others. There's 49 people in the room. So I want to know, yes, Olubumi, you know that you're responsible. I need a few more yeses that we're together. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Blessed. Thank you, Priscilla. So we know that we're responsible for our outcome in 2025. So I want us to say something together. You don't have to omit your mic, but I want to say with a lot of confidence, energy, belief, and determination that my transformation in 2025 is non-negotiable. My transformation in 2025 is non-negotiable. I am 100% committed to my evolution. I am 100% committed to my evolution. No more dabbling, no more excuses, no more settling. I hope you're saying this with me. I'll say it again. My transformation in 2025 is non-negotiable. I am 100% committed to my evolution. No more dabbling, no more excuses, and no more settling. Okay? And then we're going to go on to say that everything that happens to me is my responsibility. I want us to own this. So you are empowered to that. You really have the power to create your world. I am responsible for everything that happens to me. I attract people and situations that reflect my energy. I attract people and situations that reflect my energy. I have the power to reframe any circumstances to my advantage. Do you believe this? I have the power to reframe any kind of circumstance to my advantage. I am the creator of my reality. I am the creator of my reality. I am the creator of my reality. Now we can start. Thank you all for cooperating. Thank you all for following me up to this point. So, eagles. So this eagle has a lot of grand attributes, and we're following it through with my community this year. We're determined to fly where only eagles dare. And when you understand what that means that it's not where a lot of birds cannot ascend to the altitude that an eagle gets to. And what you desire for this year, I hope, is so big that you know that only eagles dare to get to that level. So first, make sure that your goal is going to stretch you. It's going to take you out of your comfort zone. It's very, very key. For therein lies your growth. A growth mentality is so key for this season. So an eagle flies at altitudes that other birds cannot fly. But guess what? I have read and understand that an eagle's prey, in the vision of an eagle, it can see as far, I've seen it many ways, 30 miles, but my record is 8 miles. It's a distance of 8 miles. It can spot a prey, stay focused on that prey, and once he spots a prey, he does not lose that prey. Once he has spotted a prey that he has decided, I'm going for this prey, that prey is dead, as good as dead. How does he do that? An eagle spots a prey almost 8 miles ahead. And once he spots the prey, focus on the prey, laser focus, nothing is going to stop him or stop the bird from getting that prey and achieving his outcome of conquering that prey. Now, what have you set? Thank God for your 31 days of goal setting and the goal challenge. I'm excited about what Orel Love shared. Very powerful. The excitement, the energy about your goals is really palpable. It's palpable. It's in the air. We're excited. Question then for us is, what is going to keep you feeling that way throughout this year? Now, Dr. Ebu said something. Creating your world, for me, like I said, is first and foremost, you take responsibility for what you have created. Now you want to create something different, which is your goals, separate from what you created last year. Then I'm asking you, how do you feel about those goals? Right now, you're feeling excited, you're feeling energized, you're feeling bubbly. I can do this, I can do this. You've heard messages, you've had seminars, you've done so many things that have excited you, and you're like, this year, I'm going to hit this target. I love it. Everybody is normally there in January, just like going to the gym. This year, I'm going to go to the gym, and in January, everybody hits the gym like crazy. Then what happens in February? 1st of February is today. How are you feeling right now about your goals that you set? Genuinely, on a scale of, don't put it on the chat, I don't want to demoralize anybody, but think about it and just ask yourself, how are you feeling about this? Is 1st of February. I mean, I set some goals for this year, and I remember that when I dropped the ball a few times, I was like, God, already. And I said, no, laser focus. Laser focus. I dropped myself up. I said, I'm not losing focus. Last year, that would have been a downward journey for me. I would start going down, and I would find out what's happening by March, April. I've lost momentum, which happens to the best of us. But this is what we're going to conquer this year. We're going to keep that momentum no matter how many times it feels like we're dwindling or we're losing momentum. We're going to keep going. So how do you feel right now about that goal? How do you feel about that goal right now? What if you're going to measure your emotional state? I'm sure somebody 100%, 80%, somebody that's like 60%. It's fine. It's fine. Now, when you set that goal, how clear was that goal? Because the eagle sees its prey clearly at 8 miles. Now, guess what? We can't see that far because we have this human container, I call it the container, the body is limited in its visibility. I mean, my husband was telling me he's a pilot, and I said, oh, how high can an eagle fly? And he said, oh, over 10,000 feet, 20,000 feet. So what about an aeroplane? Oh, about 54,000 feet. But a human being cannot fly up to 10. I cannot survive at 10,000 feet because our bodies cannot handle that altitude, naturally and physically. But guess what? We have an ability that no other creation has. The ability to see with our spiritual eyes. Your goals exist in the spirit realm. They're not tangible yet. So it can be as far as 100 miles. It can be as far as something that doesn't even exist yet in the realm of the physical. It is currently invisible. But guess what? Because you have seen it, the minute you can see that possibility, I tell you it exists. The minute you can say that I see myself as a CEO of a company, the version of you that is CEO exists. The minute you can say, I want to lose 20 kilograms in my weight, the minute you can see a picture of you looking that size, it exists. The question then is, how do you go from where you are to that point in the realm of the physical, as in the tangible realm that we exist in? What happens is that the vision, is it clear? Even my Bible says, write the vision, make it plain. Make it very visible, make it clear. Is your vision clear? Do we have clarity? Can you see it like the eagle? Can you see? So I want to spend a second and think about your goals for this year. How clear? If I was going to give you, if I was going to ask you to describe your goals, can you tell me in 10 minutes what your goals are? I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Are they very clear? Are they smart? And I don't want to go down the goal set. We're not goal setting here. Now, once it's clear, then you have ticked the box as an eagle. You have a prey. You have a target. Now you're going to set your face like flint. You're going to look at that target. Now, this is the essence of our vision boards. That's why we create visual representations. That's where you do your affirmations. I was in a seminar today, and I loved what the guy said. He said that to create a consciousness of your vision, of your goal, try and see it as often as possible in the day. If you have to set an alarm, and that alarm only reminds you about your goals, it's amazing how you program your conscious mind to begin to see more of what you have not seen in the realm of the unseen. Again, going back to the Bible, Abraham was able to do that conditioning for 25 years. He had to look up. Each time he looked up into the skies and he saw stars, it reminded him of the promise. Each time he looked down, he reminded him of the sun, of the number of children. So that was doing something to his subconscious mind, programming him. But we're not here to program. We're talking about the ego focus today. That's the topic for another day. So imagine that you have set your focus and it's like flint. You have seen your prey. Your target is clear. You have a vision board. I see it like a clear glass of water. And I was going to get something, but I didn't remember to do that. But can you imagine how clear? Okay, you can't see because of the background I have. If you hold a glass of water that is very clean, you can see through that glass of water, can't you? Because it's clear, it's pure, it's just everything you can see. But guess what? Feeling. When you're seeing your vision in January, it's clear water. You can see it, you can feel it, you can talk about it. This year is my year of growth, my year of expansion, my year of breakthrough, my year of fulfillment, my ego year. You are saying it, you are seeing it, you are feeling it, you're excited. I love it. But there's something comes and hits your emotions. Something comes and challenges your belief. And this is why I ask you, do you really believe in your vision that you have set? So like a thermostat, or like a cybernetic system that the thermostat or the aeroplane that the autopilot works with. What those systems do is it actually exists in us human beings as well. It is our subconscious mind. And how does it work? It works like this. You set your mind, I don't know how old you are, so I'll use my age, 53 years old. I have been programmed to think a particular way, to feel a particular way, and to behave in a particular way. So what happens is that I've grown up with some belief systems that govern how I see things, how I interpret situations and circumstances. Then it makes me feel in a particular way. And when that feeling comes, I take action like clockwork without knowing. It has been programmed. So what happens is like an aeroplane that has been set on a target to go to a destination. The autopilot knows that I'm going from Heathrow to BWI in America, in Maryland, and I'm going to fly there. And you don't have to do anything. Whatever turbulence, whatever things happen to that aeroplane, it will correct itself back on track to hit that target. My question then is, what knocks us off that we don't hit our target if we have that system in place? Just think about it for 5 seconds. If you have that system operating and then you set a target and you don't hit your target, you have a focus and you can't get through to your focus, what has knocked you off? Because you don't get it, but they say you have it. Guess what? The reason is because your target is not what is going to get you there. If it was just about your setting your vision at the beginning of the year, all of us will win. All of us will achieve our results. Everybody will just be ticking the box because your target is set, but it has not been conditioned into your being. Abraham did not have the child immediately. It had not been programmed into your subconscious. So what's going to happen is that your programming that says that you will not make it in life, that says you can never lose weight, you can never be a CEO, that has been running in your life is your cybernetic system in operation. You have to now overrule that system. So the work is not just about setting your target. It is about the ego focus, as in you can see and you're seeing and you're feeling like every single day. How do you maintain that focus? How do you maintain that? How do you maintain that till the point where you begin to now cruise? Because what we're talking about now is you're working hard to gather momentum, to keep the momentum in February, in March, in April. And then there gets a point where you're flying and my husband says to me, the hard work is takeoff for an aeroplane. Because when it gets to the altitude that is very, very high, it begins to cruise. Very little work is done. Even the pilots can sleep at that point because everything works by itself. That is where we want to get to with our goals. But because you have not done it for 53 years like me, you are doing something different. It takes a lot of focus and concentration. Now, my question then is, what are you doing? Are you paying attention to your goal? Because the truth of the matter is that attention is like a currency. If you look at the goals you set, and the only time you feel the goal is when you have a meeting doing your challenge, or when you are praying on a Sunday morning, then I can tell you that you're not going to be able to keep the momentum for long. You have to create a system whereby you are constantly paying attention to your goal as a form of exchange for your goal to become reality. Because attention is a currency. You pay attention to receive the outcome you want. If you're paying attention to your failures, you're paying attention to your setbacks in 2024, you're telling yourself, how am I going to achieve this goal this year? I've struggled last year. I don't have what it takes. I'm not skilled. You're paying attention to everything that speaks against your goal, until you attaining your goal, you will not get there. So I want you to ask yourself, how do you speak to yourself? How do you see yourself? What is the self-talk you have for yourself? Because I can tell you that the eagle is not threatened by anything. The eagle flies solo. Every other bird that tries to fly with the eagle gets left behind when it gets to its altitude. Are you focused enough to not let the things that bothered you in 2024 bother you in 2025? Are you ready to shed the weight? There's a saying in the Bible that you should lay aside every weight that can easily beset you, because it's very, very key that you know that to fly at that altitude, some things have to go. What are you paying attention to? How do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself living? I don't know how you do your goal setting, but there's a visualization what you have to do whereby you see yourself having attained that outcome and you're living with the feeling of it done. Every day you see that goal, you smile, you laugh, you hear the noise of you achieving that goal. You see people celebrating with you. Even if it's only 5-10 minutes a day you do that, it's still good enough. But if you do it more often, it would override what has been operating in your life up until now. So it's very, very key that you pay attention to what will bring about your desired goal. What are you paying attention to? Are you giving it enough attention? Okay? Because what we focus on begins to grow. And only you know, no amount of messages, no amount of seminars is going to help you achieve that. Now, there is a determination that is required. An eagle is resilient. You know, what I love about this eagle thing that came to me last year, end of last year, was also that I remember that in 2020, I said to my community, we're going to fly with eagles. We're going to go after eagles. We're done with chickens. Anybody with a chicken mindset, we don't want to hang around them. Anybody with mediocre mind, we're not. And it was true. It came to pass. We were hanging with eagles. End of last year, something that happened to me. And I had a question in my heart. And the question was, so this person you want to go and listen to, are you going to them because they're eagles? I said, yes, so they're eagles. I said, so how do you see yourself in comparison to them? Oh my God. I was like, I saw myself as a chicken and I'm going to go and say, no, you have to change your perspective in you. You are now an eagle, going to look at another eagle that is flying, and you're both flying and learning from each other. Stop seeing yourself as a grasshopper. How do you see yourself in this season? How do you see yourself? They're eagles, you're an eagle as well. And eagles they're not competing for space where they're flying. There are not many eagles out there. So you have your own space. So you need to soar. You need to see yourself as an eagle. So you have to stay focused on how you see yourself, your self-talk, how you're speaking to yourself, how you're feeling about yourself, how you need to find a way to own what you have put in your vision board or your goals that you set. You need to see yourself as the person that you want to become, not I am going to become, but I am. That's where your I am statements come to pass, because you're not saying I will be. Because if you're seeing yourself in the future, can I ask you, when does the future become reality? The future will always be, they say tomorrow never comes. I will one day become, or I am. They're two different things. Your I am statement should be that I am. See yourself that you have become. You are living as though you are. The Bible says you call those things be not as though they already are. There's a reason why it is. Faith is now. If it's a future thing, then you're going to continue to look towards it, and it will never become something that you own and you are experiencing at this point in time. So laser focus. How clear are you feeling? Are you seeing? Are you saying? Are you articulating that thing that you have seen? How do you feel about your goals? Are you comfortable with them? Do you truly believe? I said to you that the test of belief is joy. When that thing is not there, but you're full of joy when you're thinking about it, like they've promised you a gift and it's to be delivered. How do you feel about each time you look at your goal? Are you saying, oh, February, nothing has happened. I've not done anything about this thing. Am I going to achieve it this year? Or I've lost 1 month. Let me pick up my momentum. I've got to do this. I can do it. I can do it. There has to be that energy, that drive. You have to be moving. You cannot stay still on your goals, on your dreams. You have to see yourself in that. And one of the other things I tell people that I love about the kingdom, I talk a lot about the kingdom, is that the energy that I attach to achieving goals and making things happen. I'm a very, very optimistic person, and I don't think anything is impossible. Now, so I ask myself, if you don't think anything is impossible, how come you have not achieved many things you want to achieve? I go back to my belief system, and I realize that there's something wrong with my belief system about that thing. I deal with my limiting beliefs, and then I'm on the journey. Then I begin to manage my energy, as in, how do I feel about this thing consistently? And as I feel right about it, I tell you, it doesn't take long for it to manifest. So not about what I'm saying, but what I'm feeling about what I'm saying. And only you know how you're feeling. Are you full of joy? Is your energy high? Are you vibrating? Because there's a science about your goals. Your goals must stretch you. They must be very, very high. They must be beyond your reach at this point in time. Now, if your goal is higher than you, I don't know if you can see my hands. Let me try and make sure you can see my hands. So at the beginning of my journey, I used to look at my goals, and I was trying to get to my goal. I was looking at my goal like laser focus. Okay, looking at the goal, and I'm trying to get to the goal, working towards the goal, working hard towards the goal. But this is what I want to achieve. This is who I am. Guess what? Who I am today and this goal, the reason why I don't have the goal, because I'm not who that goal would come to. Let me explain to you what I'm saying. The goal of CEO requires a particular person, skills, confidence, courage, charisma. There's something about the person that is the CEO of a company that you currently do not know you have, because you have not paid attention to it. You have it, but she hasn't become your reality. Now, when you begin to say, I am articulate, I am confident, I am assertive, I'm a leader, I possess leadership attributes. You begin to say those things. I realize that it's not about going towards my goal, but becoming and seeing myself as that person. And guess what? The goal is high up here, and I'm working on myself. I'm seeing myself. I'm affirming myself. I'm staying focused like laser, like the eagle on my prey. I am the CEO. I own my business. I have a multi-million-dollar business. You're seeing it every day. You're feeling it. You're speaking it. You're working on yourself. You get to a point where you are in the parallel level as that goal. And like a magnet, opportunities will come and be drawn towards you, because you are at the level you have become. You are now equal. You can see yourself where that thing can see you to, that opportunity. You can't stay as a chicken and say, I'm an eagle, and you're there looking down there. No. You need to see yourself up there. So for every goal you are trying to achieve, don't worry about the goal. The goal is waiting for you. It exists. That outcome, I said to you, everything you have on your vision board, it is ready for you. But are you ready for it? Are you thinking like an eagle? Have you worked on yourself? Have you seen that, oh my God, and I tell people that when you pay attention to yourself, you'll be amazed why you are not achieving those goals. And when you see it, you do not judge yourself. You did not create the person you are. Life created that person. Now you said at the very beginning that you are responsible for your outcome. Now you're taking responsibility. So that responsibility to life is now within your control. How you respond to life and situations is now within your control. And your responsibility would give you the outcome you so desire when you know what you need to do in all situations and circumstances, which comes by you making the change when it becomes apparent. Oh my God, this is who I am. I need to change. And then you begin to make the change. There's no judgment. There's no condemnation. It's called transformation. That thing is in you, is just dormant. You haven't paid attention to it. So that which you want to do, what you want to own a brand new car, you want to travel out of the world, out of the country, it is possible. Let nobody tell you it's all things are possible to them that believe. Your belief is key. Once you believe it's possible and you're doing the work on yourself, it's not God. I've told you it's not God. God has put everything in place for you. All that pertains to life for you has been set in motion. You are the one that has to now become, I want to say become, see yourself as already the person. And as you work on yourself, and that becomes the person you are by default, because right now, who you are by default, who you have been for 53 years like me, the person that is going to be the person that enjoys the things you want to enjoy in your goals has to be a different person. There has to be a change. That change will come with your laser focus on this is who I am. And like the Bible says, again, the Bible, that you behold yourself in a mirror and you're being transformed, is what you're looking at that is because of your transformation. What are you seeing in Christ? What are you seeing in yourself, in your vision board? Are you seeing yourself in that light? Are you feeling it? And and then you begin to take action. I tell you, when you do all those things, you begin to vibrate at the level of that desire. And like a magnet, opportunities begin to find you. You find out that many things you've enjoyed in life, you didn't work hard for it. It just came. It didn't just come. You were at the level of that outcome and you attracted it. It was drawn towards because you were fit. You were not manipulating it. You were not destroying people's lives to get there. It comes to you because it is yours. There's enough for everybody to enjoy life. You don't have to step over anybody to enjoy anything. Your goals are achievable. Everybody can be, God has enough resources for everybody to be a billionaire. If we can have the right mindset, He has unlimited resources. But life has made us think that it is limited. It's not. So as I round up, I want us to understand the power of our vision boards that we have created. The power. So when I said to you that this cup, the cup of water, is as clear as it can be at the moment, for every time something happens, like the cybernetic system, like the thermostat that returns itself to the degree that you set it to be, 22 degrees in my house in the UK right now. And if you open the door, draft comes in, it will rise up, it would create more heat in the house to take us back to 22. And when it's at 22, then it begins to stabilize again, like the aeroplane, the autopilot. Now, my question is, how much work are you going to do to kickstart or to reprogram your own cybernetic so that when you deviate, you are back on track? What are you going to do? Because like this, what I said, if I do not do what I need to do consistently, it's like dropping drops of coffee into that water. And eventually it will be so colored, I won't be able to see the vision anymore. And then I'll say, you know what, this year is almost over. I'll try again next year. No, you won't do it next year because you have not changed. The same person went through this year, so they got the same result or even a worse result. You can only get a different result by changing. That is where the work is. You can't be the same person and achieve those. It's not about your praying and fasting and hitting the wall. It's not God you're moving. It's you that has to move. And when you move, the universe will begin to move for you. So like the eagle, when it flies high, it looks at the prey, it looks at everything, and everything looks surmountable. Right now, your vision might look bigger than you. But I want to encourage you to spend so much time on that vision, on those goals, until you're able to see it as done. You know, I have some things on my vision board that are that are audacious. Even when I look at it, I laugh. One of my friends, one of my coaches, I said, share your vision board. Let me say, that I'm afraid to share. I say, share. I said, I'm afraid. I said, why are you afraid? Say, even me that created the vision board, I'm still shaking. I'll share it when I'm okay with the vision board. But I understood what she meant. Because you know that you had a prophetic word, you're going to take the world, you're going to work with the UN. You put it on your vision board. I say, I don't even have passport. Why do I want to start with UN now, for goodness sake? They're telling you that you're going to be the healer. And then you are suffering with the sickness that you don't even know when God is going to heal you. How do you maintain that level of confidence? How do you build yourself to a point where you are coasting and you're cruising? I have a friend, she had a set of twins 3 weeks ago. After 15 years of marriage, God blessed them with a boy and a girl. And she said to me many times, 15 years, not 1 year. We're doing 1 year goal. Oh. This is 1 year, 12 months. And then, God forbid, in 6 months' time, you don't see any sign, then you give up. 15 years of holding on because the vision was real. She knew. In fact, she knew so well that in March last year, she wrote a book, Babies Will Come. And when I saw Babies Will Come, I said, this book you've written is a test of your faith, because that means you know babies will come, even though you have not conceived. After 15 years, she should have written the book in her first year, not 15 years. By 15 years, somebody have given us, I beg, let me first, 15 years, what's the guarantee I'm going to have the child? And in that same year, if I'm even right, in that same month, after 15 years, she conceived. There is a level of knowing that I'm hoping that you get to this year that is so, you're so confident, you're so comfortable with your goals that, like they say, David saw Goliath and said, it's a done deal. You just know that it is surmountable. So the eagle flies so high, looks at his prayer and his target, and it looks so tiny. Because you have flown each time looking at that prayer, and as you're going higher, like, I'm bigger than you. I can achieve you. It's not a big deal. Hoping against hope. It's very, very key that you're able to understand that everything your vision board is achievable. You have to rise above it. You have to know that you are bigger than that goal. And it's only one step to another bigger step. So this is not the last bus stop. There's bigger than that. So you might as well see it as the next stop. And I'm not joking. Some of us have goals. Some goals are so big. You think, this is so big. There are bigger people that are doing bigger things. What's the difference between you and them? Perspective. How they're seeing. I'll also say this before I round up, that I got a clarity about something recently, and it was the unlimited abilities that we all have. We're not this human body. I don't have time to explain that. We're not the expression we've had. We are spirit, and that spirit man will return back to wherever we came from when we're done in this realm of existence. So we can't limit ourselves to our expression or what we look like, how beautiful, how thin, how fat we look like. But the question for me is that, if we're spirit, there's no limits, because that spirit is the spirit of God, and that spirit of God is always looking for expression and expansion. So there's no way you're going to ever be satisfied, because the things that they created today, like the aeroplane, like the Tesla car, there's still going to be many things that we have not seen that has to be innovated and created, and somebody has to see it and then bring it to pass. So there's no limit to what is possible. There's no limits. So the first thing is, what is creating that? Because the spirit of God is unlimited, and that is what spirit you have on your inside. So this vision board you have to God is like a tiny dot. It's like saying to you it's big because you're seeing yourself as small. But when you take the eagle perspective, say, this is just one bus stop. There's bigger. So that focus is to make you say, this thing you have put on vision board, it is small. And if you put your vision board beside Warren Buffett, he will just smile and think, wow, what a good start. But man, it's a little start. It's a tiny start for someone like him. So what makes you not think that you can do better and bigger than what you put there this year? So see the one on the board this year as already done. I want to encourage you to see it as done. And believe that you are the person that is able to make it happen. You are enough. Now, that enough you is what you want to focus on. Laser focus on the you that has achieved this outcome, because that you exists in spite of your laziness, in spite of your tardiness, in spite of your lack of structure. Everything that speaks against you, hold it first. Who is the person that becomes? Don't worry about what you are not. Who are you? I am the righteousness of God in Christ. I am organized. I am detailed. I am articulate. I am eloquent. I am beautiful. I'm loved. I'm sought after. If you keep saying that, the things that will make you that begins to be drawn to you, because you are that person. The only problem is that you have been seeing yourself the way people have called you and life has called you. The person that is going to become the CEO exists. Are you seeing that person? Where is your focus? Where is your laser focus? What are you attending to? And I'm wrapping up with this. What are you locking your vision on? What mommy said, what your results said, what your body says, what your report said from the doctor. Do not lock your vision on that. Lock your vision on your vision board. What did God say? What's the prophetic word you have received? That is where your vision needs to be on. That's what happened to Abraham. Day and night, David in the wilderness had no time to fight with anybody. Nobody was, it was only him and animals. And he was able to do what he did. So by the time he saw a human being smaller than an animal, you and lion, you are small, I can deal with you. He had seen himself, tiny frame, but able to conquer a lion and bear. What are you? What do you see about yourself? What are you focusing on? What's your focus on? What's your laser focus on? So as you look at your goals, I want you to look at yourself, the executor. That's what I'll end with. What your focus should be first on you that will make these dreams come to pass. Don't just look at the vision alone. The you that is going to live out this vision. What do you see about this person? How do you empower this person by what you see and what you say in your heart? Not when it's outside, I can do it. I mean, it's done. I've achieved it. Then in your heart, I say, listen, you can't do this thing. We have tried this thing many times. You can't do it. You failed yesterday. You tell yourself, hey, bless you have boasted again. You are very silly. Why did you go and boast again? All that conversation that's going on is what I'm dealing with, not the one you're saying outside. Within you, what are you saying to yourself? And it's going to happen over time. And you'll be amazed that as you change this internal dialogue, what you're seeing, the focus, the laser focus of the target of who blessing is, of who Temilade is, of who Lina is, achieving, experiencing, collecting this award, being praised on the platform, changing lives, receiving the checks, the awards, the $1 million checks, going to getting your passport, leaving the country, everything you've seen, you, the person leaving the country, entering the country you desire to enter, your children graduating, your child coming out of all the troubles and all the challenges. What does that picture look like? Can you focus on that? Can you pay attention to that? Keep your eyes on the divine target. Maintain clear water. Don't let anything affect your emotions, because your emotions is a sign of how you're feeling and the energy that you're attaching to the thing you want to achieve. When you don't feel happy, know that something is happening. They've put coffee inside your water. So quickly find a way to put more water in your water bottle. Once you feel like, hey, this dream, they've put coffee inside your water, it's not clear. You have lost focus. You're now looking like a chicken. Now rise up, find someone that is flying. Say, Ego, please help me to raise my level. I can't stay here. I can't stay. This level will not achieve the outcome I want this year. And it takes that constant dance. And before we know what's happening, you'll find yourself soaring like an eagle, where only eagles there. So your focus has to change this year. It's not about who you're not, what you don't have, what is going wrong, but who you are, what you have, what's going right for you, and keep your vibration at the level of your desired outcome. And guess what? Like magic, like a magnet, the things you want will be drawn towards you. And I'll end by saying that I have a scripture that I love. It says that, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness and all these things. And I'm not here to preach. No, I want to show you something very quickly. Do I have sharing right? Yeah, okay, awesome. So I don't know how many of us know the Bible, but it's science. This is science, okay? Now, the eagle, what level do we think the eagle flies at? Just put in the chat from what you can see. What level do you think just using the figures at the side, where do you think the eagle is normally at? Just type in the chat. What number do you see? Thank you, Adebola, 700 plus. Thank you. Now, that is the highest frequency your emotions can vibe at. And that is where you are ultimate, as in life is good. Now, think about what I just said about the kingdom of God. Now, there's peace, there's love, there's joy. Now, righteousness consciousness for Christians is knowing that you deserve this thing, that self-dialogue going on. It is about saying, I am the righteous, I deserve this outcome. Christ died for me to achieve this outcome, to enjoy life, to abundant life is my entitlement. That is enlightenment. That to me is righteousness conscious. That is mean that I am so confident that I am okay. Now, peace, love, and joy. What does the Bible say about career, kingdom of God? Somebody who knows the scripture, please help me put it in the chat. What is my kingdom of God? I know the song go dan 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 dan. You don't know the song, righteousness. I want to see it in the chat, please. Tell me. Tell me in the chat. I want to see the three things. Please unmute your mic and tell me, okay, unmute your mic if you're allowed to unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. That's it. Righteousness, peace, joy in the Holy Ghost. If that is the kingdom of God, I say, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, the enlightenment, the knowing, and everything will be added unto you. What I told you is not true. Thank you. So if you are the highest level of frequency, like the eagle, I said, everything will be added unto you. Do you not know why things are not being added to you? Please look at the chart. If you are in shame, you're vibing low. If you're in guilt, you're not in the kingdom of God is not alive in you. Apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride. These lower frequencies, you are contracted, you are chicken, you are in the chicken zone. I call it the devil's zone where he can attack you. Because where the eagles fly, devil can't reach there. He can't reach love. He can't pass love. Love is not a zone the devil can enter. So think about these emotional frequencies. You have to protect it this year. Eagle focus. Protect your love work. Protect your joy. The joy of the Lord is your strength for Christians who understand scriptures. Peace is a knowing that God has got you. Enlightenment, righteousness is the ultimate. You know who you are. Your identity is secure in God. So I want to trust that this year, you will stay focused on what you need to focus on. Focus on your focus. Start with yourself, and then your vision board will become a reality. Keep the vision board in front of you. Make it your go-to. Let your water stay clear. I'm begging you, do not let it get diluted. Don't get distracted, and commit to eagle focus on kingdom priorities, and every beautiful thing you so desire on that vision board and more will be added onto you. God bless you. And thank you so much for having me tonight. I hope I've been a blessing to one or two of you.
Awesome. Whoa. I can see in the chat box if this session has been impactful and inspiring. I want to read in the chat section. Let's see. I'm still waiting for some people. Yeah. It's fire. Coach Vinuyon, you have never disappointed. This is so amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, she passed a message across in a simple way. And that's one thing I appreciate about her. Thank you so much, Coach Vinuyon. I want to believe that this has helped a lot. And I can see the response in the chat section that people are taking in a lot. I also saw somebody send a message on the WhatsApp group where we belong to say, if you're not here, you're listening. Like, this is powerful. Thank you very much. And everyone, I want you, as you are celebrating what she has dropped, I want you to also drop your aha moments. What are your take homes in the chat session while I also talk about it? You know, she said something very profound and asking, becoming. Who are you becoming? The goal is not where you're going to. The goal is who you are becoming. Because the person you become on that journey is the one that can sustain the achievement of the goal. It's the person that can withhold or withstand any distraction that wants to come. So as you're growing, as you're staying focused, distractions will come. But as these distractions are coming in, you're countering those distractions. You remember what she said? Change the perspective. Change what you're seeing. Say the word. Affirm yourself. They are I amness. You know, these are the things we have learned over time. And Coach Vinuyon had kind of bring it in a practical way for us to understand, you know, in the simplest way. Like the message I sent out this evening, that this is an act. It's an act to it. You have done goal setting, you have attended seminar, you have done this, you have done that. This is just the easiest and the simplest way. And it's an hack if you want to agree with me. Focus. To say things will happen. Things you're not happy about. And you listen to Coach Vinuyon. She's not saying she's superhuman. She's not saying she's got it all. She said, even towards the end of last year, she was also thinking, and these are the things I admire about this woman. She will let you know that, hey, I'm not all knowing. I am human, you see, because we are all in this earth suit and things happen. But as things are happening, where is your focus? Where is your knowing fully well with all the promises, knowing that no, everything had been made available. Everything you need for life and godliness had already been given. you know, you have that at the back of your mind. So when all those distractions come, you know that they're just distractions. I am focused. I'm going to get it. And that is the laser focus we are talking about. Thank you very much, Coach Vinuyon. I don't want to spend so much time. I want to hand over to Blessing as she takes the question and also if she has any question to ask. Please go ahead. Blessing.
Wow, Coach. Coach, I must say it has been an amazing session. Thank you once again, ma'am. I have a lot of questions. I was taking notes in between, and I know everyone in this meeting did the same, because I could see the chat box was quiet because our hands were busy.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the questions I will be asking, there are things that you have already told us, but you know, in class, students will always want to ask questions to ensure that the point is driven home. So in case I ask a question that you've already answered, just know I want that point to be driven home. Now, ma'am, one of the questions I'll ask is, how do we stay focused on personal goals or growth and goals when life feels chaotic, balancing work, family, and purpose?
So the reality of life is that it's a juggle. That's why I call it a dance. It's a dance. There's no right or wrong way. It's almost like for everyone, it would happen differently. The key is that the focus, your goals are your focus. Your outcome is in front of you. Like I said, the cybernetic system, things would happen. The first one to do is want to program your mind to believe that you're going to achieve that outcome. And that is defined by how you feel about the outcome. So today, my goals are like, hey, God, how is it going to happen? But there'll come a point I'm like, I can begin to see that it's a done deal. That's what happened to Abraham. At the beginning, he wasn't sure. He even had issue with that. This thing you're telling me at this age, it's not going to happen. At some point, he was convinced. He was convinced to the point that even when the boy was born, he was ready to kill the boy because he thought this vision, he had seen himself as a father of nations, that killing Isaac was not going to stop that vision. That's where we all want to get to with our goals. So life would happen. Challenges will come. Demands will be made upon you, but what will keep you going is the fact that you are working on yourself on a daily basis to go back to your goal and say, how do I feel about this goal? How am I feeling? It has to be kept alive. Now, it doesn't mean you want to say today, every day, I want to run, like I have to do 10,000 steps every day. I didn't do it 2 days ago because it was very wet and my mom's around, And like I've said, I missed it. No, life happened to me. I'm going to continue. So the whole idea is that there'll be setbacks, but the system, when it's in place, in spite of the turbulence, in spite of who opens the door outside and there's a draft and it's already cold in the house, the thermostat knows how to get itself back to the 22 degrees we set it to. You are doing this. I told you to do. Watch your emotions. Make sure that you're looking at you're feeling the goals you've set for yourself. Make sure that the water is as clear. You're doing your part when it comes to your goal. You're not trying to make anything happen. You're just keeping yourself in the state that is requisite for that goal to be achieved. And when life happens, you're back on track because that goal is real for you. All the people that create stuff, all the Elon Musk and all of that, life happens to them. Thomas Edison, I said to myself that I can imagine the wife saying, this factory you are inside, make this bulb. We need to eat. Oh, emergencies are going on. But he will go back to that factory. After he's done everything he needs to do, he will go back there because he believed there will be electric bulb. That is all I'm asking you to do. When you believe in your goals, whatever is taking you away from it, you will come back to it because you believe. You will come back to it because you have got to the point where you have set the thermostat to achieve that goal. It's the setting we focus on today. Laser focus will set you. And when you're set, you're good to go. You will achieve the goal. It will come to you naturally. Does that help answer the question?
Ma'am, thank you very much. I'm just trying to check if there is. Please, if you have a question, you can drop it in the comment box so that Coach will also handle your question while I put up ones that I know will be able to handle other aspects for everyone. Now, ma'am, again, you said something. You said, let your water stay clear. Now, for that, I would ask, in trying to let our water stay clear, what practical strategies have helped you and your clients maintain focus on long term? Because, like you did say, you say, if you're noticing coffee, what you need to do. Most times we are focused, and all of a sudden stuff starts happening and we are all back to zero. So what's that strategy? Because, most times people believe in strategies, in tips, in practical guides, in affirmation. I will do my affirmation daily, and it's like, it's not working. So what's the strategy?
So I'm a very practical person. So I've been through hell and high water in the last few years. I said to people that prophetic words are very powerful. Some of them would happen regardless because somebody is holding on to that word to bring it to pass. But you have a part to play in most of the prophetic words to bring it to pass. So who would die with their prophetic words and it didn't come to pass? Why? Not because God is a man that they should lie. No. So when the water changes color, it means that you need to know. First and foremost, I'm teaching you to know to keep checking your water. Some people don't know that water has even turned black. They're just going. Now, the test for you knowing is your emotions. That's why I'm telling you that your emotion is your signal, is your telltale. I'm feeling sad. I don't feel joy. I'm not feeling like loving this person. I don't want to forgive. Those are things that would mock the water. Because when you're not vibrating at the level, the key was that level. When the Bible says labor to enter into rest, that they don't access the promise because they did not enter into rest. What rest is the cruising altitude. It's the altitude where you believe, you hope against hope, So to get to that level is to check. When you feel down, you feel offended, your boss has irritated you, you have put coffee inside your water. Your husband has told you off and you're feeling the pain of your husband telling you off. Coffee has entered your water. Your children brought a bad report. Coffee has entered your water. You're not vibrating. If I are vibrating at shame, grief, anger, pride, those are the telltale signs. That's why I use emotional frequency for almost of my coaching. Once you feel those feelings, don't condemn yourself. Just laugh and say, you have come again. Because me, predominantly, I was at a level of some emotions. And I'm like, I can't do those emotions. When they come now, it's like a trigger, like I'm not going there. If I have to play music, I will play music. If I have to call my friend, I report my friend. Let me give you a joke. My friend, one of my coaches, we're very, very close. And I was coaching her to write her book, to create her journal. I was writing my book as well. And then come January last year, her journal was done. She called me and I was excited. I said, wow, we've done it. And under that, I said to you guys, it's not about what you say or how you feel. It's what's going on your inside. Inside me, I was angry. I was jealous. I was upset. How can she achieve her goal before me? How can she actually create? Her journal is on the market and I've not even finished writing my own book and I've done pre-order. I was so upset. Because I know this journey, I said, hey, here we go. Here we go. You can't afford. So what did I do? I called her. I said, my friend, I have problem. He said, well, I said, serious problem day. He said, why? I said, can you imagine the emotions that came up in? I'm not ashamed of my emotions. They will come up because I'm a human being. But it's going to sabotage my process. Can you imagine me feeling ever say you are mad? I said, I know. So help me to be mad because this doesn't make sense. Why I helped you achieve your goal and I'm now envious of you. And we both laughed about it. And thought there's work to be done on us. So that was the end of it. No condemnation. So you need to own your space. Don't feel bad. Life, you've always responded to things in a particular way. And it happens again, say, hey, my water. Hey, my husband abused me. He got angry with me. My mother called me. My in-law did this to me. All those excuses, I beg you, own your life. You are responsible. Responsibility for your outcome. Be careful how you respond to the emotions that you feel. Don't judge yourself. Don't condemn it. But those are the signs. And when they come, shift it. It's a gradual process. Your life will change when you know how to manage your internal state. Because everything you're going through and you're experiencing in life is because of your internal state. It's how you show up doesn't matter to me. I ask you what's going on your inside, because that's what is showing up on your results. Your results are a reflection of what's going on your inside, not what you're saying. So your work is on that inside blessing. Does that help?
Yes, ma'am, it does. Wow. Okay, let me just take it. I'm taking it in. Now, mom, you said something. You said, I called my friend. The importance of your community, your support system. You understand? Like we are here now, we are in a family meeting. This is our support system.
Very
And
key.
it's rare to have someone that you can always run back to and you're vulnerable with. It's powerful. It's powerful. And I know, I believe someone just learned that when it's like you're feeling down, that you've not done enough, instead of you to be eaten up and allow your water to be contaminated, what you need to do is to call that accountability partner. Even
Yes.
just saying a word of congratulations
That's it.
has a way of healing you.
Pour
Of
water inside the water. Pour pure
yes,
water in the water.
mom. Yes, mom. Okay, let me not be selfish because I noticed there are some questions here. Let me ask. And Stella said, how do we deal with self-limiting beliefs? Because I tell you, mom, this has dealt a lot with a lot of dreamers, limiting beliefs. And
So
Stella is asking, how do we deal with self-limiting beliefs?
So I have how do I, okay, let me try and find. So let me give an example. So if you think about limiting belief, so a belief is that you believe that something can happen. You have it's a constant conversation that you've had in your head. This is what I believe, this is what I believe, what I believe. And it's creating your experiences and what you're seeing in your life as outcomes. Now, if something is limiting the way you see yourself, like Abraham's limit was that I'm too old, I cannot achieve it. He had to overcome that limitation. Now, self-limiting beliefs are things that you know that you are telling yourself. That's why I talk about inner talk. So the best way for me to explain this to you is that it doesn't happen overnight. The first is for you to identify that limiting belief. What is it? Is it founded? Is it grounded? Is it true? Can you find evidence that tells you that it's not true? So I have so many limiting beliefs that when even my friends, some of them are so ingrained, they say to me, I can't help you anymore. You have to help yourself. And I'll give you an example. So towards the end of last year, about 4 weeks to the end of the year, I was meditating and then I heard the word, you have to overcome pessimism. I'm like, at this stage, how can I still be pessimistic, as in expecting the worst outcome? I didn't realize that there was a limiting belief going on in me from when I was young, that because I always had negative outcomes, when everybody's doing something, when it comes to me, I don't get the outcome I want. Even though I thought I'd overcome it, conscious that it was a fear of lack, there was still a program that when my daughter calls me, I'm thinking, what has happened to my daughter now? When the phone rings, oh my God, what's going on with my husband? When my friend is calling me, I'm thinking, what is she going through now? It's always like my mind is always programming, and it limited the energy of excellence, of breakthrough, because I'm limiting myself with the way my brain processes. And when you know what it is, then you ask yourself, why am I always thinking this way? What can I think about different? What can I do different? So now, conscious, which is hard work, like going to the gym and carrying dumbbells, I have to tell myself, when my husband says, Vinuyon, I'll say, hey, he wants to give me some good news now. What does he want to celebrate? My daughter say, hi, mom. I'm like, tell me the good news. Even though sometimes when I say, I'm saying, but I'm saying, afraid, no, don't give me any bad news. But guess what? It's getting better. Because once you are aware, there's a saying in Yoruba, those who are Yoruba will say, "Ijo tabari bini bin wole." The minute you see it for what it is, it loses its power and control over you. So whatever self-limiting beliefs are going on, call it what it is. Find a contrary evidence that counters it. Begin to believe in that contrary, that the better outcome, the positive outcome of that limiting belief, and then begin to see it for what it is, and consciously, with awareness, begin to replace it with that which is contrary, which is opposite to that thing you're telling yourself. And over time, it would, this is why I say, right? Do you know about I don't know about if everyone has talked about neural pathways, but for everything you do at this moment, your limiting beliefs there's a particular way your mind thinks because of that limiting belief, and it's your normal path. It has been consistent. Now, to start going a different direction, it's like creating a path through a wilderness. And then you already have a pathway that when you go, it's easy, sure. Then now to start cutting grass to go through, it will take a while. But when you go through that path consistently, it becomes your default and becomes easy. So whatever limiting beliefs you are, just begin to find something that counters it, that proves it to be wrong, and take that path, see yourself in that path, be cautious about it, and do that different thing. Before you know what's happening, that limiting belief has lost its hold. Okay.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Before I take the last question, now what you said about limiting belief is so powerful, because I could recall 2023 when I was mentored by Dr. Ebu. I did a particular home play on family tree. And I remember sending it to her. I was like, oh, I've done a lot of work. And she sent a mail back to me and said, Blessing, I want you to redo this. And I was all in my mind, why would doctor want me to redo this? Oh, I thought I've done this. Because with that, it helped me pour out a lot of things that were bothering me, that were holding me down, that was affecting me. And I remember after redoing it, it unlocked something in me. That the pain that held me that I could not share, I could actually share that side of me afterwards.
I see.
So while it was as if doctor was having me redo an assignment, I knew it was her input that helped me unlock that aspect. That blessing, you need to heal from this. Blessing, you need to see this part that this is not, that it could help me see the true picture that it's not your fault, that some of these things were happening, that they were just in.
Is it me or blessing is slightly frozen?
Solid. It's powerful. That is powerful. Thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, so let me take the last question so I can yield the stage to Coach Dr. Ibun. Now, Adebola said, what are some of the practical ways of dreaming big? Is there anything as unrealistically big?
You're asking the right person. There's nothing unrealistic for me. I'm telling you. Let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something. I'll tell you a story about myself. When I was in university, I grew up in Ile-Ife, and I went to OAU, and very familiar with the environment. And this was, 1988, I think. And I was working. So to make phone calls in Nigeria then, you couldn't make calls from your phone. You had to go to the Nitel to make international calls, sorry. So the Nitel building was quite a distance from my hostel. So I was walking, and as I was walking, I got to a point, I just stood. I said, what kind of life is this that I have to walk in the sun to go and make a phone call to somebody, my sister abroad? Can't we just create something that we can hold in our hand and then call anybody in the world? If I'm not just call them, even see their, as I said, see their face, I laughed myself to scorn. I know where I sat down. I said, you are now mad. I laughed and laughed. I said, Vinuyon. So they will hold a device. They will talk about somebody abroad. They will even see their face. I said, you have now lost it. You're now mad. I laughed and laughed and laughed. I got up, packed my madness, and went to the night, made the phone call and went home. Today, do you have a device that makes international calls? Today, do you have it? At that point, it was, if I could just sit down with that idea, maybe today I would have been a multi-billionaire. There's no, once it can cross your mind. You know, when they say zeros behind numbers, I would say it's that you can't put when I said to you that we're spirit and there's no limit, I'm not joking. The limit we have is, like I said, the self-limiting. It is us that our mind cannot contain. The work is how to work on your mind. How can Edison, whether it's 1,000 times or 10,000 times, he said he did 5 times, some of us have given up. Because he could see something that nobody had ever seen. So, my dear, to dream big, what you need to just do is imagine it. What's your mind? Like me, laugh at it. What's your mind can imagine it? I said to my community, I said, one day they will drive. I will drive from my house to Ado-Ekiti. I will fly. They said it's not possible. I said, mark my word. The way aeroplane flies and Tesla can drive itself today, one day you from your house will be able to enter the air and fly to you will say it doesn't look, but it is possible. It's only a matter of time. So please, if you can think it, you can become it. Whatever you can see with your mind's eye exists. It's just for someone to bring it into this realm of existence. That's why many dreams you've had that you didn't follow through, somebody else followed you through. You thought it was only you that got the idea. Don't be deceived. Other people are getting the idea. It's the person that executes it first that gets the glory for it. Don't sit on your dreams, please. Dream big. I hope I've helped you.
Oh, thank you, Mama. Dr. Ibu, do I yield the stage or you want me to keep being selfish?
Thank you very much, Coach Vinuyon. Thank you so much. It's exciting having you in the room this evening. And blessing, well done. That was a beautiful one. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't have much to say, but just to say that, okay, maybe I should just talk about the self-limiting. How do we deal with the self-limiting belief? Like Coach Vinuyon said, where did it come from? What is that belief that you're nursing? And she said something about the conscious and unconscious mind. All these things are things that we have saved and stored in our subconscious mind. We've heard this before. It's there in your subconscious mind. And so affirmation is what you can use. And she said it. Where is the belief coming from? Is it something that somebody said to you when you were younger? And so you need to restructure that. And by the time you keep saying and repeating the positive side, you remember she said it, that what is the opposite side of what you are believing, of that belief? What's the opposite side? The opposite side is the positive one, isn't it? Stay on the positive one and keep saying it to yourself. By the time you do it over and over again, it becomes part of you. Do you understand? I hope you can hear me. Okay. So yeah, and as for the dream, please. A lot of us are, when we were younger, like Coach Vinuyon said, when we were children, we dream, we had a lot of ideas in our head, and we just say it, and they will say, "Oh, now your time. Go, shut up. What are you saying? Look at this one." These are this way we were conditioned, and they snatched away all those dreams. All these things by Thomas Edison, by the Wright brothers, and Tesla, and all this Elon Musk, and all those people. We all have that ability, but our environment, of course, has sabotaged and taken away all these things. But I believe that we're in a new era and new things are happening because we now know that some things are possible. The truth is, everything, as long as you can conceive it, you believe it, then you will have it. So please, let's dream big. Let's dream big. Thank you very much, everyone. And once again, Coach Vinuyon, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jane. Jane says, wow, I really gained a lot from this session. Please, can I get the recording? Yes. It will be posted on okay, so we are streaming right now on YouTube. Just go to YouTube Family Center on YouTube. You will get it. Admin, please drop the link in the chat session. Admin, please drop the link in the chat session. Thank you. Who else? Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. And I want you to, your take home. I want us to drop our take home in the chat section. Yeah, admin says it's family meeting. Okay. Yeah, our take home as we round up this session. We look forward to, so we're still going to have, this session was supposed to be for January. So for February, our focus is love. You know, February is the month of love. So we're going to be focusing on love. We're going to talk about love, the meaning of love, how to be loved, how to love, how to receive love. That's what we're going to be discussing in the month of February. So I look forward to having every one of you. I'm still waiting. Lina said, great session. Focus my focus. Focus on your focus. Yes. Focus on your focus. Distractions will come, but don't allow them. I remember when we're still trying to understand what meditation is. I remember Bankole would say, if you are straying away, the fact that you know that you are straying away is even a good one. Just bring yourself back. So the distractions will come. As they come, just ensure that you bring yourself back and tell yourself, like Coach Vinuyon said, run yourself under, even if it is pure water, run your clear glass of water under it, or you put it under the tap. And when we say under the tap, it can be support system. It can be watching a video on YouTube. It can be going over on listening to this session again. It can be anything. Just ensure that you bring yourself back to the focus. Thank you very much, everyone. Yes, you are the creator of your reality. Coach Vinuyon, can you take us through that affirmation again as we round up? Let's take that affirmation again as we round up. Yeah, we have Coach Vinuyon's Instagram handle already in the chat session. Please follow her on Instagram, and you can also ask her questions. Go into her DM. She's always ready to assist. Yes, focus on dealing with your inner thoughts and share any negative thoughts to your accountability partner. If you say it out, you have weakened it. That's the secret.
That's right.
That's the secret. The feeling is the secret. You're feeling bad, you change it, the feeling changes. That is the secret. That's all. That's all. And that's why this session is, that the focus here is the hack. That's the hack. You're feeling somehow, oh, this. Just change the narrative. Just change the feeling to a happy one. It can be listening to music. It can be affirming yourself. Say it out. By the time you say it out, the feeling will change and everything will change automatically. Thank you very much. So, Coach Vinny, can we have the affirmation all over again? And guys, if you want it, just slide into my DM. I'll get it for you from Coach Vinny. But let's affirm ourselves again this evening.
So I was
As we
saying,
wrap up.
and before we end, just the thing about feelings I want to add is that, I
Yeah.
was in a coaching session, and I hope there are only adults in the room here. And that
Yeah.
thing graphical for me, because and because you talk about sex here is okay. It was so graphical, and it shifted my focus on all the way my mind works. This lady was very depressed. Even when the speaker, the convener, was called upon her to stand up and was going to do an intervention with her, she looks like life was really dealing with her in a bad way. She was depressed. And it goes, what is the reason? And to explain why she was depressed, and justifiably so. And he says, but before he told her you chose to be depressed, he now said to her that, by the way, have you ever had sex before? And she was like, so this woman was like this, bowed over, crouched over, looking like the world was over. And she stood like, as in the place of over 5,000 people, I said, why would you ask me if I've had sex before? So she stood up and he goes, have you ever had an orgasm? She was like, what's wrong with it? So how did you feel? Oh my God, she smiled. She was embarrassed. She was laughing. Her whole posture changed. And he said to her, why do you look so happy suddenly? Her focus changed. Her mind went from all the things that were depressing her, some that giving her a good feeling in the past. And he goes, can you see that you choose what to focus on? And when you change your focus, you feel emotions that are commensurate to what you're thinking about. It does you more good. The emotional frequency I shared with you. The power and the choices in your hands. So here we go. My transformation in 2025 is non-negotiable. I am going to unmute your mic, or should I just say it? And what do you want me to do, so that we do it together?
We can unmute our mic so that we can say it.
And then you
know there's power in it. As you're saying it, you will see that your system will change. That's just the secret.
So I'll say it and then you guys repeat after me. So let me say it first and then I'll give you time to repeat. So mute your mics, please, if you can. So I'm starting with the first line. My transformation in 20. Okay, they're muted, but you have to enable them to unmute, actually.
Admin, please enable us to unmute. I think we can unmute now. Admin, please, yeah. You can unmute now, everyone.
So my transformation in 2025 is non-negotiable.
My transformation in 2025 is non-negotiable.
I want to say it with confidence and, like David looking at Goliath. So looking at the Goliath, telling yourself, okay, you're looking at that and you're saying it. I am 100% committed to my evolution. I am 100%
committed to my evolution.
I'm 100% committed to
I'm 100% committed to
No more dabbling. No more excuses.
No more excuses. No more
unsettling.
No more dabbling.
No more
settling. Everything that happens to me is my responsibility.
Everything that happens to me is my responsibility.
I attract people and situations that reflect my energy.
I attract people and situations that reflect my energy.
I have the power to reframe any circumstance to my advantage.
I have the power to reframe any circumstance to my advantage.
And I am the creator of my reality.
I am the creator of my reality.
Let me give you one more. I am now letting go of all that's safe but small.
No, you should not wear it.
I am now letting go of all the same but small.
I am releasing limited identities.
I am releasing limited identities.
I am releasing limited relationships.
I am releasing limited relationships.
And I'm releasing circumstances that I have outgrown.
And I am releasing circumstances that I have grown.
I step forward boldly into my fears.
I step
Forward
forward
into my fears.
Knowing this is the gateway to my freedom.
Knowing
This is a gateway to my freedom.
I fly at altitudes only eagles dare. I love
I
it.
fly
At altitude, only eagles dare.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Coach Vinuyon. Thank you so much.